Welcome. This is the Driven Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Dean Scarlett. Here, we go over the realities of being an entrepreneur, all the ups and the downs, the nitty-gritty, mistakes, lessons learned, and all the successes. Remember to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. All right, let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode. Today we have Talmage with us in the studio.
How you doing?
Talmage, tell me a little bit about yourself. Kind of give everybody your background.
Absolutely. Well, I've been here in Florida for the past 13 years now. I'm originally from upstate New York, from Rochester, small little city.
Oh, Rochester?
Yeah, from Rochester.
I'm originally from Medford, Long Island.
Okay, see, we northern boys. I knew it was something.
Yeah.
I knew it was something.
Yeah.
But I was there with my wife, then girlfriend at the time. But we decided after it was just too many winters. It gets so cold there, and we were just like, we want to try something new, something a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
So it was between Charlotte and Florida, and because I had family that already lived here, it kind of was an easy decision. We moved to Orlando.
Nice.
And we decided we wanted the Florida lifestyle, right? Coming from upstate New York, you don't really understand where you're going to get the Florida lifestyle. You just figure if you move to Florida, you're going to get the Florida lifestyle.
Yeah.
No, we moved to Orlando, and we liked it in Orlando. I'm not going to lie. I think it still was better than where we were.
Yeah.
But after being there for a while, we realized I don't think this is that Florida lifestyle we thought we were getting 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I came down.
What was that Florida lifestyle? What do you mean? What were you looking for?
The Florida lifestyle mainly included water. I'll start
nice.
there.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we had a lot
Fair
of
enough.
retention ponds,
Yeah.
but we
Not
didn't
a lot
have
of-
the
yeah.
water.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty central.
So what happened was I came down to Tampa. Well, I'll get more into detail about it, but I came down for work in Tampa, and then I realized like the feeling here in like the Tampa, St. Pete,
more what you were looking for.
Clearwater. Yeah, I came back home and told my wife, like, I think that's where we need to go.
Yeah.
We need to start to venture off into
Nice.
that area. So
Let me ask you this. When you came down to Florida, was it like a culture shock coming from New York?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, this is so funny. When I first came to Florida, I got hired at a warehouse. And where I'm from, to blatantly put it, people are rude. Okay?
Yeah.
If
Facts.
you don't really know them, you don't really
That's
know
true,
them,
yeah.
they're kind of rude. So when I moved here, people were really nice.
Yeah.
And they were so nice to the point I thought they were like being
Being
passively
fake, yeah.
aggressive to me or something. I'm just like, why do you keep saying good morning so happily to me? Like, you don't even know me. So I would say that was like a really, really big culture shock.
Yeah.
Is just the attitude that people have here, which is a better attitude than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
Yeah.
It's a better attitude. But nonetheless, I started to get used to it, and I loved it.
Yeah, much more polite, just as like a rule of thumb for stranger interactions. So I also had a major culture shock coming down here, but I came a little bit younger, and I've been here a little bit longer. But I remember when we made the trip down from New York for the first, and I'm coming to Florida for the first time, and we're driving through like all this pasture land, rural, nothing, and yet there's billboards. Like that blew my mind, because in my head, billboards were for like the city, not out in the middle of nowhere, but they got billboards everywhere. It's wild.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The city life, and granted, I came from upstate. It still was more of a city feeling than where I moved to.
Yeah.
It was real homey, and I can't lie, I kind of liked it. I like that neighborhood feeling. In the heat, like the weather made it like 1,000% better. So
Yeah.
I can't complain about that. The winters in Florida are amazing.
Yeah.
I love the
They're
winters
practically
in Florida.
non-existent.
Yeah, it feels like spring. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's like spring where I'm from. So like, it's great. It's great, but I love it. I love it.
Awesome. All right. Well, tell me a little bit now about your business and your entrepreneurial like ventures. Like what are you doing, and why are you doing it?
How much time do we have?
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. We'll put some time on the clock. And
Let's add 30 minutes, please. But okay, so I am a videographer. I own real estate.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, and I'll talk more about that later, but that just kind of came inadvertently. But well, I wouldn't say inadvertently. I actually did sign the dotted lines. But I mainly full time. I'm a videographer. I film weddings. I film real estate. I film for businesses, and it started off kind of like not a part time, but like a hobby.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that the more I did it, the more I realized how this can be something that I can survive off of,
Yeah.
pay all of my bills with, and live off of. And
How did you discover like that you enjoyed operating cameras and like actually doing the work? How did you figure out that you loved it?
it was a couple of things. I wouldn't say just one. Number one, and this goes back to when I worked like an actual 9 to 5.
Okay.
Okay. I'll start there. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Let's start at the 9 to 5. I worked for a telecommunications company. At the time, I mean, I would say at the time I got paid decent money.
Okay.
Because that's subjective, and decent money changes
Yes,
throughout time.
that's true.
At that time,
Yeah.
I felt that I got paid decent money, but something that was the most important to me in life is family and spending time with family. And I started to realize at an early age that your typical 9 to 5 takes up a really big chunk of your life.
Yep.
I'll miss out on things like basketball games with my son, or for the most part just being tired when I get home and not really doing much.
Yeah.
It's time to get home, you sit on the couch, watch some TV, eat, go to sleep,
done.
repeat.
Yeah.
And I realized at an early time that just wasn't the life that I wanted.
Yeah.
So I've always liked recording and filming, but never on a professional, like, this is my business kind of perspective, more of like a hobby. Just like I like recording, making videos.
Yeah.
And it was funny because my wife had an uncle in her family that always recorded stuff, and we always looked at it as weird, like, here this guy go with this camera again, not realizing that I was
gonna be
becoming
you.
that
Yeah.
person.
That's
yeah, because I didn't have the old fashioned camera, I had a newer kind of camera.
Back
like
in
no,
the camcorder days.
yeah, he had the old camcorder, but like I didn't realize like I'm becoming that person, and I'm happily that person now. Every vacation, I'm filming home videos, but when I first got the camera, I got my bachelor's degree on YouTube University, and
Nice. I love
yeah,
that.
I learned the basics of just operating a camera,
Yeah.
shutter speed and focal points and different things like that. And the more that I got out there and used it, the more I actually enjoyed it. I always enjoyed the output, which was the video.
Yep.
But I just had to learn the actual like production
Process.
aspect of it, in
Yeah.
the process. So it was always something that I enjoyed. I've learned to love it even more the more that I got into it.
Nice.
So I worked the 9 to 5, and I guess I'll get into, if you want to do that, I'll get into how I got to where I'm at with the video business.
So let me ask you this: you figured out that you loved recording and cameras, and you learned the process, and right now it's still just kind of a hobby. You're dabbling in it, but you're realizing this could be something that you actually enjoy and do. What was it like? I kind of just dive a little bit more into your business for a second before we get into how you jumped into it. But what was it like? What was the process like figuring out how you were going to start making money doing it? Like, you go from I'm the guy with the camera to I'm the guy who's now going to charge for using the camera. What was that like? Was that hard for you? I know some people have a hard time making that transition.
Yes, that was hard. Initially, that was hard. It took a lot of research, and once you start to get into the business side of just like working, entrepreneurship, you're gonna learn that you have to do a lot of research on the market, on that particular market.
Yep. There you go.
Some of which I had no experience. I think it's been so long now, but what I started doing was looking at the competitors. I started
There
to
you
see
go.
how
Okay.
much did they charge, how good was their work? Because
Yes.
just because somebody charges $5,000 for something, if your work isn't as good as them, you can't charge $5,000. So I started to look at beginners and what beginners charge, and it wasn't much, but it was a start.
Yeah.
So I started charging around that amount, which, man, it's so funny thinking back. I mean, I was probably charging 60, $70
Wow.
to do like whole shoots
That's
for
great.
companies. Like,
That's nice.
some of them was $40.
That's
when you
wild.
first start, I was just trying to get myself through the door.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
what it
what it
takes.
was. When you get into that kind of business, you need like a portfolio. You need something you can show people. I don't have anything I can show anybody. So at that point, I'm doing some things for free just to get a portfolio or little to nothing.
Yeah.
So as far as like charging people and what I can charge people, it's been a steady process that changes even now. It just goes with like the creativity, the quality of your work, and the time that you've been doing it. But starting out was just a big shock all around. Not even just pricing, just being able to talk to somebody, a potential client, on a business perspective. It's not the same as the way you would talk to somebody on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro, what's going on? Like,
no,
you don't
you
talk
gotta
to them like
actually,
that. Like, first impressions is everything. I
Yeah.
started to learn about first impressions.
Yeah.
These are all things that I didn't have a lot of experience in. So it was a big shock.
You talked about time. How long did it take before you got to the point where you could earn enough, charge enough, and had enough business coming in that could become your full-time thing?
Years.
Yeah.
It took years. I got started in videography in 2019 on a professional level. Like, I'm going to start to make money doing this.
Yeah.
2019. It wasn't until about 2025.
Wow.
Last
it's like 6
year.
years. Yeah.
It took about 6 years
Yeah.
for me to get to a point where videography
Was the thing.
was the thing. Videography supports my life.
Yeah.
As far as like bills, vacations, family, just anything, it took 6 years.
Yeah.
And that was a big pill to swallow, because when I first decided to do it, and when I was taking my classes at YouTube University, they were telling me like, you need a good 3 years to get into it.
Yeah.
And the thing that I started to learn was that that's a more general statement.
When you hit that 3-year mark, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, the 3-year mark that 3-year mark really said a lot. It told a lot. It wasn't a time where I was able to just quit everything and now this business supports me. No.
Yeah.
But that 3-year mark did tell me a lot about how much work I'm going to have to put into this if I want to sustain, if it was for me or not, if I had to go back and work a 9 to 5.
There you go.
It told me a lot in
Yeah.
the 3-year mark. But the 3-year mark was not the time where I was just
You were
like, this
ready.
is it.
Yeah.
This is it. So
How difficult is it, or how do you go about like marketing yourself and identifying clients?
When I first started off, I started off on apps like they have like Thumbtack out there.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I was on Craigslist.
Nice. Okay.
And then, of course, like Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook, because it's so many people on there, it can be kind of hard to break through. But nonetheless, you still got to get on there. I mean, that's where everybody is at.
Yeah.
So I would say like the top apps would be Instagram and Thumbtack. Those were the two things. I will say definitely on the wedding side, Thumbtack is where I got my first wedding. It was Thumbtack, Thumbtack is, I don't know if you're familiar with Thumbtack, but it's an app where, entrepreneurs, whether you have like a HVAC business or you're a videographer, you can go on there and people can go on Thumbtack, and if they have a service that they need, they can search their local market, and if you're on there.
I've used Thumbtack before, but I didn't even know that you could do like search videographers and stuff. I always thought it was just like handyman stuff. The only time I've ever used it was like I need somebody to install an appliance somewhere.
Yep.
But that's good to
they're
know.
on there.
Okay.
But you could videography, a photographer. You could find just about anything on Thumbtack.
Apparently you can find your wedding photographer on Thumbtack. That's wild.
Yes.
That's cool. Okay. All right.
That's wild, right? Because you wouldn't think that someone would be on
yeah.
Thumbtack
To
finding
look
a
for a
wedding
wedding.
photographer.
Yeah.
But depending on the budget,
That's fair. Actually, that's a good
Thumbtack is a
point.
more budget-friendly kind of market. So You know, if you're looking for a $10,000 wedding photographer,
Probably
you're
not
not
on
going to be on
Thumbtack.
Thumbtack.
No.
But if you're looking for the guy that just got started and he's charging $250, then you might just be on Thumbtack.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got my first couple of weddings on Thumbtack, and I think that because of like the passion that I had for it and the amount of time I put into it, I wasn't a Thumbtack contractor for long.
Yeah.
I got out of that
Branched out
market
pretty
very
quick.
fast because depending on where you're at, like, and you'll learn this with businesses, like the rooms that you're in, the people you're around, you can hit that threshold to where you're no longer growing anymore.
Yep.
Like, and you gotta do something different.
Yeah.
And Thumbtack was one of those things.
Yeah.
That was it.
All right, let's actually talk a little bit about that hitting a threshold. There's a common question about which is better, to be a big fish in a small pond or small fish in a big pond. And depending on how you're applying that question, that answer could be a little bit differently. But the way that I think about it is it depends on the kind of fish you are in a lot of ways. So, there's a goldfish. I don't know if you knew this or how many people would know this, but goldfish apparently don't have a set size. When you get a little goldfish, you put it in your bowl at home, it will grow to fill the size of that bowl until it gets uncomfortable. You take it out and put it in a bigger tank, it will continue to grow, even if it had stalled before. So you take that small fish and you put it in ever-increasing ponds, the fish just gets bigger and bigger. It's the same with your business. How did you identify when it was now time to jump into a bigger bowl effectively?
Okay. I realized it was time to jump into a bigger bowl when the work became too much. And I'll give you an example. There was a point in time where I can charge $1,000 for wedding videography, and I may get 2 clients. May get 3 clients within a 6-month time frame. I started to realize it was time for me to jump into a bigger bowl when I was getting 10 clients a month. So I'm trying to figure out to myself, well, why am I getting 10 clients a month now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've always gradually became better at what I did.
Yep.
And it got to a point where, man, this guy is so good. He's only charging $1,000.
Yeah.
I keep getting higher. And initially it was really cool. I'm like, man, I'm just keep getting work. Right. But then there is a such thing as like a burnout and overworking yourself. I realized, okay, that bigger pond is a bigger price point now. Now I'm going to $2,000.
There you go.
And although the work went down, the workload decreased, but in reality, the amount of money didn't, because less work, more money.
Yeah.
I would figure that that's what most people want to do. Like in life, you kind of don't want to overwork yourself.
No.
You want to get into like this leveled plane. And when I first realized that I had to raise my prices up because the work started to become a lot and my quality became better, that's when I started to understand the whole like price point versus work, and big fish in a little pond, little fish in a big. I started to really understand that at that point, because mind you, even in my field, right, I charge a decent amount of money, but there's videographers that charge 10 times as much as I charge.
Yeah, for sure.
They may do 3-4 weddings a year, but they make more money than I do when I do 20 weddings.
Yeah.
Right? And man, that's just crazy to say, because it's really, really true.
Yeah.
But when you're that videographer that's still just charging $1,000 for a wedding, you got to think about it. When you just came out of a 9-to-5, I made $1,000 working for 6 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
In 6 hours, I made $1,000.
Yeah.
Now, I work 40 hours at my job, and every 2 weeks, I'm bringing home $1,500.
Yeah.
From 80 hours of work, I bring home $1,500. Even if you look at the gross pay before everything's taken out, okay, I'm bringing home $2,300.
Yeah.
But for 80 hours of work,
Yep.
I'm bringing home $2,300.
Yeah.
And I just made $1,000 in 6 hours.
Yeah.
So it was it was like me raising my prices was never like a big rush at that time because I'm like, dude, I'm doing this. I'm great right now. This is amazing.
Yeah.
It's kind of how that person feels that when they go from $10 an hour to $20 an hour, they feel like, oh man, this is amazing.
Doing great, yeah.
Because when I left Rochester, I was making $10.50 an hour at my job, and my mindset was just like, I don't think I want to move to Florida because I probably won't find a job that pays me this good.
Oh wow.
That was my mindset.
Yeah.
So because I'm in this little pond, which was my city, that was the norm. This is 2013.
Yeah.
2012, 2013.
Yeah.
That was like the norm. You know, there in that city, the job growth isn't good. Job just itself isn't good.
Yeah.
So I moved to Florida. My first warehouse job, I'm making $17. I'm like, dude,
What happened?
what is
Yeah.
going on? Then I go work at, then I got a job at Frito-Lay. Frito-Lay has a warehouse in Orlando.
Okay.
I'm making $23 an hour.
You're a high roller now.
At this point, I'm wealthy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm that guy in the top of the world right now. I'm making $23 an hour. I'm working all this overtime. I'm bringing home $1,500 a week.
Yeah.
Working a lot of hours. I really ain't get that whole hour versus, trading my time for money thing yet. I didn't get that yet.
Yeah.
But I just see the money and I'm just like, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And the same thing kind of happened when I got a business and I went from $200 per wedding to $1,000 per wedding. It's like, I'm on the top of the world. If I do 100 weddings,
Yeah.
I get $100,000.
Yeah.
And that was my mindset until I started to realize, like, the whole burnout thing,
It's not scalable like that.
Work-life balance thing, like that came later. But yeah, it took that burnout for me to start to realize that I need to up the ante and
Yeah.
get into a bigger pond.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Let's backtrack just a tad bit. You mentioned some of your prior positions. What was it? Because I mean, the way you talk about your prior roles, it sounds like in most of them, or at least in many of them, up to this point, you've been pretty happy. You're happy making $10.50. You're happy making $22 an hour. You're happy making the $17 an hour. What was it that made you go, you know what? I think I need to figure this thing out and how to build my own business and do my own work stream. Like, what was that moment, that light bulb moment for you?
Got you. Yeah, I know that moment too. I know the moment.
Hey,
So,
hey.
I was a technician at the time, and this is what I was doing when I got that moment. I was a technician, and I was installing like home internets, things like that. Now, mind you, I came from Rochester. I came from upstate New York.
Okay.
It doesn't get that hot there. I mean, in the summer it's okay.
Yeah,
It can kind of, but
not like Florida.
yeah, you experience all seasons.
Yeah.
In New York, Florida, you don't experience all seasons. Now, I get to Florida, and I'm in this tech that I has to go through people's attics and stuff. It's like 140 degrees in this attic.
Crazy hot. Yeah.
Right? I didn't like that. I didn't really like the fact that I worked outside a lot. As a tech, you were outside a lot. It's hot. And because I'm from upstate New York, it can be 75 degrees in Florida. I'm sweating outside.
Yeah.
That's how I am. So I'm just like, it was little things like that at first. And then in the beginning of the day, like when your shift starts, you go to the yard, you have like a morning meeting, like a group huddle, pretty much with all the techs. And no lie, I'm not lying to you. I used to come up to this meeting, and most of the people that I work with were a lot older than me. Mind you, at this time, I'm probably like 25, 26 years old.
Okay.
A lot of people in my groups, per se, were like late 40s, 50s. And I used to look at them like, there is no way I'm going to be 50 years old climbing in somebody's attic. Right? I used to think that to myself, like this, like him, this can't be me. Cannot be me. So I used to think to myself, like, what can I do, to not do this when I'm 50? Because I'm pretty sure when they were 25, they were thinking the same thing, like, but something happened with life to where they have to do this at 50 years old. Because, if you 50, 55, you don't want to climb in people's attic. This isn't a passion. I can't wait to climb in someone's attic today.
Yeah, no.
No, they don't want to do it, but they have to do it.
Yeah.
They have to do it. So what went wrong in their life to where now they're 55, climbing in attics and dropping cables down the wall?
Yeah.
So I went into like this really, really deep research. It's like, okay, what can I do? I feel that the only way that I can get out of this rat race is to have my own business and to earn my own money. Because I've always felt that working a 9 to 5 is just going to give you a cap
Yes.
when it comes to money. Are there 9 to 5 jobs out there where you can make a lot of money? Yes, but they're very far and few.
Yep.
And it's they're very particular jobs. It isn't like the typical me and you can go fill out an application right now and make $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's just not how it works.
Yeah.
You know, so in my head, I'm like the 9 to 5 thing just isn't going to be for me. What can I do?
Yeah.
That was the main thing right there. What can I do?
Another thing with the 9 to 5s is, I mean, even if you do get one of those roles that's paying you really, really well, there's still a cap. Mm-hmm. Right? There's still a cap. You can only grow so much, and there's a lot of pressure on how to make that happen. A lot of other people are involved in that. Versus you're running your own business, just like you exemplified. It's your decision when to jump into the bigger bowl.
Yep.
And you can do that ad nauseum.
Yep.
You can grow, and there's almost no limit. Sky's the limit. There's no ceiling.
Absolutely. And just to add on to that part, something that I've also come to realize is that I didn't want to be the person that trades my time for money. I don't want to be that person. So when it comes to that trading time for money thing, even if you do have that job that's paying $300,000-$400,000 a year, just like you said, the pressure is even harder on those people.
Yep.
Because the corporations, they're not just giving you $400,000, not for nothing.
No.
Oh, you're going to work for that $400,000,
Yeah, they
and you
expect
better
a lot.
make sure it's perfect. But it was a time for money thing. Like I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore, and I had to figure out what it was I could do. And at this time, mind you, I already liked recording, but I never thought about it in a business perspective ever. And one day I was installing cable for a real estate agent. I was installing his internet, and he was kind of in a rush because he had to go and do something. And at this time, I've never, like right now I work with so many agents, like I know agents like left and right. But at this time, I've never worked with an agent. I know nothing about real estate agents.
Okay.
I was working with this agent, and he was like, he had let me know he had to go. He wanted to know how long it was going to take because he had to go and meet this guy that was taking drone photos for him. Right? And I'm like, drone photos?
Light bulb.
And me, I'm a curious person too. So, and I like having conversations with people. He's like, I got to meet this guy that's going to take some drone photos of a property that I'm listing. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, what do you mean drone? I didn't even know at this time that you as a consumer can buy a drone. I thought this was just like Army, Navy, kind of only they got. I didn't even know that you can purchase like a professional drone.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, and what's crazy is he was giving me this information. I wasn't even asking for it initially. He was just talking to me like, he was like, you should check out the drones. This guy's charging me $250 an hour to take pictures. How much?
Yeah.
Is he charging you? $250 an hour. He already got my attention right there. And now that I look at it, I think he was like that. He had that entrepreneur mind. Obviously, he was an entrepreneur because he's a real estate agent, but he had that mindset of like, listen, I could help get. It's probably something you would have told me if you would have saw me and I was installing your internet. Like, listen, if you think about A, B, and C, you probably could
can
like
make
do
it happen.
something
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
It was one of them kind of conversations. Like he was actually giving me some insight.
That's
like,
awesome.
Hey, so I was actually like, so what kind of drone? Like, and he was telling me about how DJI makes drones. And I'm like, oh, really? So how much are they? He's like, they're kind of pricey, but it's an investment. Like you invest in yourself. And he's telling me these things. I'm like, and I'm just wondering like, why is he telling me this? I'm just here installing his internet. And I get home, I get on my computer, I'm looking up DJI drone. And I see all of these drones popping up. And I'm telling my wife, I'm like, man, he said that the guy's charging $250 an hour to make drones, take drone pictures. And I'm like, if I was getting paid $250 an hour, I wouldn't have to work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Because I could just work 10 hours and make this much, make $2,500. And I'm just like, my mind's just blown. Like, people actually do this in real life? Like, people are actually getting paid $250 an hour in real life? Like, that, you can really do that?
Yeah.
And not be like a neurosurgeon or something? Like, anesthesiologist or something? So I do my research. I'm going on YouTube. I'm watching all these videos on like how to fly the drone, how to work the drone when you get it. Because I already see how much it costs. It's expensive.
Yeah, not cheap.
So I'm like, okay, if I get this, like, what am I gonna do? So I find a couple of people that some people actually still watch on YouTube, but they were like videographers and filmmakers, and I find a bunch of them, and they're teaching you how to do it, telling you the different things that you need. Long story short, I spend $8,000. I buy a drone, I buy an iPad, I buy a MacBook, I bought a camera, and I bought a lens.
There you go.
I bought everything.
There it is.
And I had to buy it without my wife's knowledge because when she found out, she was like, what the
What
heck
did
is
you
this
just
stuff?
do? Yeah.
I mean, I had a table just full of stuff. I
Yeah.
spent like $8,000. I went into my 401. That's how I got it. I had a
Oh, nice.
401k.
Okay.
And I'm like, I got to do this.
Yeah.
I go into my 401. I take out a whole bunch of money and I just buy all of this stuff. So I get the stuff. Now what?
Yeah.
It looks nice on my desk, but now what do you
Yeah.
do? I don't know anything about a business or how to run a business, nothing. So I go back to my YouTube University. What do I do next?
Yeah. You can learn anything on YouTube.
Yeah, especially at that time. I mean, it's probably even better now because
Yeah.
this was like 2018 when I was doing all of this, and I started to look up like business structures. I get my LLC, I get an EIN number.
There you go.
I do all of this stuff.
You're
I get
legit.
like business bank accounts. I started getting oh my goodness, I started getting trade lines. I started doing a whole
Yeah.
bunch of different things, and I started figuring out how to use a camera and a drone. So I figured out how to set up the camera. I figured out how to set up the drone. That's when I went on Thumbtack. I'm like, so how do I start getting my first work? I make a profile on Thumbtack. My first job ever was a guy that owned a storage facility. You know those big storage facilities?
Yeah.
He needed pictures of the storage facility.
Okay.
I go there. I take like 6 or 7 or 8. I don't know. I take a couple of pictures for him.
Yeah.
Pays me $60. That was the best time of my life right there. My first
Client.
Got,
Yeah.
yes.
How long did it take you to get your first client?
From the time that I bought all of that stuff?
Yeah. Well, after you made the profile and started putting yourself out there.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It was a couple of. I had the price point very, very low. And when clients go on the app, they're pretty much price shopping. They're like, who's gonna give me the best deal?
Yep.
You ain't getting no lower than me. I'm gonna charge you like $30. Like, so I told him I was like, yeah, I can do this. I do a lot of this, and never did a day in my life. So we scheduled the appointment, and I'm just stoked right now. Like, I cannot believe I got a client, and they're about to pay me some money. I don't even know how to like charge them. Like, how do I get the money from them? I don't know. I created like a PayPal account because PayPal at the time was the easiest account that you can make. Like, just set up really quick. They give you a debit card and everything.
Yeah.
So I sent them like an invoice on PayPal, and I got paid. I got like $60, and that was just like the best
There you go.
feeling in
Now you're
life.
official. You're legit. You got
Yeah,
clients.
I went out there with my wife to the storage place. I got this tripod for like $30 off Amazon. I got like the cheapest stuff, like lights and all this stuff. And I'm just taking these pictures of my wife. I'm like, wow, look at, I'm taking pictures. It was so amazing. I probably could find them pictures if I looked hard enough, but it was so amazing. And man, it was like a hunger from there. Like,
Yeah.
I want more now. Now I gotta do more. So initially it was the drone thing. That was what got me started. But my first job was actually using the camera. But I ended up, so getting work isn't as easy as it seems.
No.
Especially when you're just getting started.
Yeah.
What I had to start doing was, and at that time I just bought a house too. I just bought a house. It was in a new community. So like all the houses in there were new. And in those communities they have model homes.
Yep.
So what do I start doing to create a portfolio?
Taking pictures of model homes.
Pictures of the model homes.
Smart.
I started taking pictures of all the model homes. We had like 4 in my community. And I made an Instagram page. I forgot what it was even called at this time, what I named it. But I made an Instagram page. And I started posting those photos on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I started like hashtagging Orlando realtors or real
There
estate
you go.
agents. I'm adding all of them. I'm inboxing them. It was a lot of work. But it's a really, really slow grind. It's not something that happens very fast or overnight. I think that's a really big misconception. It's not easy at all. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication, a lot of no's. It took a lot of no's before I got a yes.
Yep.
But I finally, after probably 4 or 5 model homes and just me, it was to a point where I would drive around to in Orlando, you got like Dr. Phillips and Windermere. Those are the higher, the nicer houses. Gated communities. I will park outside of the gate, fly my drone up, and go fly to houses and take pictures of like houses that are either like for sale or something.
Yeah.
And I would put it on my page, and that's how I built my portfolio initially.
Nice.
That's how I built it, and I started to get clients, real estate clients. But what I started noticing is that they also want pictures of the inside of the houses too. So then I had to learn more about my actual camera, and I learned how to take pictures with my drone, with my camera. After a while, I wanted a little bit more than real estate, because real estate just got kind of boring after a while, taking those regular pictures. So I'm like, let me learn how to do video too.
There you go.
I started to learn how to do video with real estate, and I don't know how. You know what? I knew a wedding photographer, and they're the ones that got me into doing wedding videography. They're like, hey, you're making $100 or $2 doing this real estate thing. You could make $1,000 or $2 doing weddings. What?
Another light bulb moment.
Another light bulb. We're like, you make how much in one night? And this wasn't even like a big wedding photographer. I think they're probably charging like $1,200.
Yeah.
In the wedding just field, $1,200 is really
low.
cheap.
Yeah.
That's very low. But for me, like in 8 hours you make $1,200. That's a lot of money to make in 8 hours. And she let me go along with her pretty much to a wedding as like an assistant, just for me to see like the vibe and everything. And weddings are so great because it's the best day of people's lives. Everybody's just happy.
Yep.
So it's like no one's mad or upset. They're just happy. Like, hey.
Yeah.
I really love that. Got into weddings, and man, it's just been up from there.
So 2 things in your stories you were kind of talking that I noticed. One is creativity. Like, you had to get really creative with how to start getting those first clients. Having the thought to go take pictures of the model homes. Driving out to nicer neighborhoods and flying your drone over the gate. Like, you had to get creative about that stuff. Tagging realtors and sending it in their inbox. Like, you got to get creative. That's first. Especially when you're just starting out, you don't have a name for yourself yet. You got to figure out how to break into the market, and that's impressive. And the second is your entire journey speaks to how important it is to love what you're doing, because it's going to take longer than you think. It's going to be grindier than you think. It's going to take more work than you think. But if you truly love taking videos and working the drone and learning the camera and watching the YouTube videos and all of that stuff, you enjoy adding more skill sets in that domain to yourself. Like, you will enjoy the process, even when it's kind of tedious.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's going to take to get you through that 3rd year after everyone's been telling you 3 years is it. And you hit year 3, you're like, I'm nowhere near. I still got, I don't feel like I'm ready. But like that, if you love what you're doing, you'll keep pushing through. Like, that's huge.
Absolutely. Because you're going to need more than just a paycheck or, a deposit to keep pushing when your bills got to get paid, but you're not making enough with this job to pay all of your bills. Like, that's why I feel that most people give up and they go back. They're like, man, it's cool. It's all right, but it ain't all that.
Yep.
Like, I love it.
You got to love it.
I love it. You got to love it. You got to love it to want to even like get better in it, because in the videography, it's very oversaturated, just like photography, oversaturated. You can go online right now and find 20 photographers.
Yep.
It's that easy.
Yep.
So you start to learn, like, how do I set myself apart from everybody else? Well, you got to start to get creative. You got to get really like artistic with like your craft, and you gotta stand out.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of different industries, you want to stand out. However you go about that. But if you don't have like that ambition to really do it, you're not gonna put in that much work to do something like stand out.
Yep.
It's because that within itself isn't getting me paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forget staying. I'm about to just go and try to write a couple more people and get a couple more jobs.
Yeah.
So that grinding process, you're not necessarily getting paid at all.
Yeah. That's a really good point. Another thing, as you were talking, that I thought that you exemplified as well is investing in yourself. You not only did you invest time by watching the videos and learning this stuff, but money, and took a risk too. You know, like that was a decent amount of money for somebody who had never operated a drone or knew anything about cameras before. Didn't tell your wife, just like, I'm going to go ahead. This is something I know I need to do. I'm going to do it. But that's what it takes. And that investing in yourself doesn't stop right when you start. You know, you got to continue to invest in your craft. You got to continue to, update your equipment and stay on top of the newest, latest techniques or anything like that, which kind of speaks to you have to enjoy it. Yep. If you love it, then you will actually enjoy learning about the newest model lens or whatever.
Yep.
You know, and so you'll keep up with it. Your equipment won't get outdated. You'll stay with the times.
Yep. And just keeping up with the times and the trends. A lot of times it doesn't even have anything to do with money or buying things.
Yep.
And I think that's when it comes to like it actually being something you enjoy.
Yeah.
That's where it's really going to matter the most.
Yeah.
You know, I was able to go on my 401 take out money and actually buy it, but as far as like learning and sitting down and learning when you don't have a manager over your back micromanaging you. Yeah. You know, you are your own micromanager.
You got to stay on top.
You got to do it yourself.
Yep.
You know, that's where like the passion comes in at.
Yeah.
Because I could have easily just said, I'm about to go watch Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't got time to be on here anymore. But no, I stuck to it. I mean, for weddings, right? So I told you for real estate, I used to go do model homes. For weddings, I took my wife's wedding dress.
Okay.
I hung it up on my window in my bedroom. And I put my camera on a gimbal and just started doing slow movements of her wedding dress.
That's awesome.
That was my first ever wedding video.
Yeah.
Yes, I took her wedding dress. And I'm just like, first 10 brides, $300 for your wedding videography. And this is the video that I went off of because I'm sitting there like, okay, it's easy to go take a video of a model home. What I'm going to do with a wedding?
Right, yeah.
How I'm going to do that?
Just crash somebody's wedding.
Yeah, great. I need the footage. I need it now. So I that's what I did. And it's just like, man, I put so much into it. And when I watched that video, because I had to put it on my computer, the one I just bought, edit it on my software. Yeah. I had to pay $300 for Final Cut Pro. Like, it was just a lot of stuff you had to put in. But I edited it, and I just used to watch it. And I'm just like, I still remember, you remember 1,000 Years, the song?
Yeah.
It was on Twilight. That was a song in the background, and I'm just like, yeah, I could be your wedding videographer.
That's great.
And that's how I started with like weddings. But like, man, you really gotta invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Not just money, but just your time, effort,
focus, energy, all of it.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Kind of final question. What are some things now that you've experienced a lot in that journey? It took you 6 years to get from the point of I'm interested in cameras to like really this is now my thing, full. During that journey, I'm sure you've experienced a number of different setbacks and challenges, or maybe even made mistakes. What are some things that you would, if you could, tell somebody else? Either you're go back in time and tell yourself when you were just starting out, or tell somebody who's listening to this and they're just starting out, lessons that you would impart on them that you've learned during your journey, specifically from mistakes you've made or challenges.
I got a little list. Okay.
Okay.
Number one, which is most important, is to not give up. And that could be said so loosely, but I mean, dealing with this entrepreneurial journey, staying consistent and not giving up is very, very huge.
Yeah.
Not to give up, because there were times that I just stopped. I went back. It's easy to just clock in at 9:00 and clock out at 5:30, and wait until Thursday and get a paycheck. That's the easy route. Getting what you really want in life and getting there is a very narrow path.
Yeah.
It's narrow. I would say that if you are like a faith-driven person, it's really just like pray and fast. I think that when I first started, but when I first started going through my journey, I really didn't have like God with me. I've learned within my faith, I talk with him, I pray to him, I fast. Fasting and praying has really helped me
Yeah.
a lot. Okay, because like he has a will for you.
Yeah.
And if you can just start to go his way instead of trying to figure out your own way, you're gonna make life a lot easier
It
for
gets
yourself.
smoother, yeah.
Because things in your life is gonna happen according to his will, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And I think like I would stop doing my business. I would start doing a 9 to 5 again. Then I would get into that 9 to 5 again. And that mindset is like, what am I doing here right now? Now I'm working at a call center saying the same thing to these people that's on the other end all day. I'm at home and I'm just like, dude, like what is going on right now? I always found myself going back 3 steps when I went forward too. Like, why am I working this job right now? Something I would tell myself is that you're gonna have to take risk. You're gonna have to take risks. It's gonna be times, and listen, I'll tell how it is. There's gonna be times you're gonna be broke. There's gonna be times that you'll more likely be late on a bill.
Yep.
There's gonna be times you're gonna have creditors calling you because you couldn't pay it. I feel that if you stay steadfast with Christ, if you stay steadfast with his plan that he has for you, he says that he's a provider. He's going to provide all your needs. Listen, when I look at needs, right, I look at electricity, water, food, shelter, clothing. These things are going to be provided.
Yeah.
Okay? Your Netflix might get cut off for a month
Yeah.
because you couldn't pay it.
Yeah.
That might happen.
Yeah.
But your needs will definitely be provided. And he's going to guide you. He'll guide you for sure. Like, even if it's a business that you want to do so bad, but it may not be for you, he's going to help guide you. He will let you know. So I think that's really helped me out, especially within like the past year. Because like I told you, I've become like sustainable last year's 2025. It hasn't been that long for me. I've been doing this for a very long time. But for me to say I don't have to work anymore, videography and just filming in general is enough to pay for my life and my lifestyle. It's only been it's literally been probably less than a year. It's probably actually been like 8 or 9 months. And that's how long it's gonna take. Something another thing I would tell myself is it's gonna take a long time. It's a process. It's not something that's gonna happen in 3 years, like my professor told me on YouTube University. It's not gonna be that. For some people, it might be, depending on what you're doing. For some people, it might be, but you're gonna always have room for growth. Like I said, now I own real estate, and that real estate I use as an investment property. Like I lived in there. I bought it for me, but I didn't realize that like most of these people that I look up to, like mentor wise or just people online, like real estate is a big part of their success.
Huge.
Property. I didn't know that until I bought my house, and I didn't even know what equity was at the time. I had no clue. They were just telling me, if you buy this house, you can have this big house for less than what you pay for rent. And it was true. I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Didn't realize that 3 years later, I'll have $250,000 in equity sitting in that house.
Nice.
I bought it, and that right there, it's probably because of the time I bought it. It was 2018, COVID passed.
That's a good time.
And
It's a good time.
It was just a great time that I bought in. But I have like 6 figures sitting in that house right now. And if I look at my net worth and being a 6-figure net worth, I wouldn't have that without that property. If you take that property away, I'm back to just like, I'm grinding out with my business. You know, I'll probably get there, but really, even when you do grind it out with your businesses, you still are going to put that money back into real estate anyways. You know, things I didn't know because, you know, when I just wanted a drone. You know, like you grow throughout the years, you build throughout the years. And now I'm starting to understand certain things I didn't know all those years ago. But even me being able to talk to the old me, right? In 2 more years, it's going to be the 2-year later me talking to the 2026 me. Like, and that's the amazing thing about it. Like, you just keep learning and growing. So, man, if I was able to talk to the 2019 me, the 2019 me would be blown away. Like, that's awesome. Dude, what am I doing in 2026? What? I don't work any jobs.
That's amazing.
My wife doesn't work any. She doesn't work any jobs either. She hasn't worked a job in longer than me. Would never think that would happen.
That's awesome.
Never would think it.
So stick it out. It's going to be harder than you're thinking it is, but with faith, you can make it. And invest your proceeds back because that'll pay you back at some point in the future.
Yeah.
But invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself. Get into really. If I knew what I knew about real estate way back then, I probably would be like 5 or 6 doors in right now.
Yeah.
I would tell myself real estate is going to be your exit strategy.
Yeah.
Real estate.
Yeah.
I love filming. Like filming is what I'm utilizing and using to get there. But real estate, and that's a whole other podcast episode right there. If you want to get on real estate, I'm pretty sure you'll have way more insight than me when it comes on the real estate.
We'll have you back on. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, but just me as a newbie, that was just kind of like a wow, real estate. Yeah, get some real estate. So
it is just to close it out because you're 100% right. Like if you look at people who are considered very wealthy or successful, usually. I mean, you'll have your one-offs. People, your Steve Jobs or your Elon Musk who had some incredible business that just went, to the moon. But most people, most millionaires, multimillionaires, it's real estate.
Yep.
That's what got them there. It's real estate.
Yep. It's real estate.
So, well, Talmage has been awesome. Honestly, I think you dropped a lot of really great gems for everybody. I loved having you on the podcast. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. I enjoy it just as much as you do. So. This is great.
All right, everyone. Hopefully you got some stuff out of that. We had a great time. Looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Driven Entrepreneur Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you enjoy content like this, sign up for our email list where you get weekly blog posts and reminders of our upcoming podcast episodes.